Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Gas. He goes. We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball as Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Gordon Beckham and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Brad Mills, Houston Astros. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the finale of this 3-game set and this 9-game homestand. In this set, this will be the rubber match. They took the opener 8-3. Then yesterday, Chris Sale picked up his 8th victory. We won that ball game 10-1, a big grand slam by Adam Dunn. So this afternoon, Sox trying to pick up their 34th victory of the season with Philip Humber.
Philip Humber's got to get a little more consistent. This year he's 2-3. His ERA is well up over 5. And one of the big reasons is he's not throwing strike one. If he can get back to doing that, especially with his breaking ball early in the count, he can be as effective as he was the first half of last year. And right now, Philip, a big part of this rotation, has got to try to throw strikes consistently, get the curveball over, especially when he's behind. And if he can do that, especially against this Houston team who's 9 games under 500, he should do okay. It's a red-hot day at the ballpark, so it's going to be lively. Lucas Harrell's 5-4 this year, which is pretty good for a ball club that is struggling like Houston. And Lucas, as you know, one of our guys going over there, finding some luck in the National League. Hopefully he doesn't have any today, has a tendency to get the ball up on occasion. That would be tough. So let's take 2 or 3 from the Astros, and it's on to St. Louis.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all, Ford. Drive one. The new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. BMO Harris Bank. Helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank. NA member FDIC. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. And by Toyota. With great specials on fuel-efficient vehicles. Right now, you can get a lot for less at your local Toyota dealer.
day, 89 degrees and very windy at the ballpark. Time now for the Miller Time Astros lineup. Jose Altuve, who's had a very good series leading off, and it's Bixler, Lowry, who's also had a good series, with Martinez, Wallace, Johnson, Bogasevic, Maxwell, and Snyder catching, rounding it out. The defense, an out-on lineup behind Philip Humber. Viciedo back in the lineup. That's good to see with Diaz and Rios. Hudson, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate. And our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Philip Humber, who's looking for his third win. His ERA over 5.5. He'd like to establish first ball, breaking ball on occasion. Throw a few more strikes early. And his offense has been in high gear, so if he can hold down these Astros at all, the offense should take over. The umps for the game today: Mike Everett, the crew chief behind the plate, Paul Schreiber, Lance Barrett, and Laz Diaz rounded out. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this 3-game set and the finale of this 9-game homestand. First pitch of the ball game is taken for a strike by Jose Altuve. Altuve comes in hitting at .325, 3 homers. He's driven in 19, 3 for 8 in this series. Outfield straight up. Hudson at the cut of the grass at third. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. A beautiful afternoon for baseball. Just got a piece of that for the diminutive Altuve, just 5'5".
He can, however, put a charge into it. And in this series, he's used the whole field.
He's a good player.
Yep.
So baseball's such a great game. They come in all sizes and shapes. He gone.
He thought that ball was a little too high. And our BMO Harris pitch tracks will show you that it most likely was.
So here's Bixler. Bixler, the left fielder. Takes ball one. Astros come in hitting at .253 as a club with a 4.29 ERA. They're 7-20 on the road, but at home 4 over at 18-14.
His lineup actually sets up well for Phillip because there's only 3 left-hand hitters in it. So he can use that breaking ball away from the right-handers and cut it as well as curve it.
High in the center field. Can of corn. Two down. So here's the switch hitting shortstop Jed Lowry, who's 4 for 8 with a couple of homers and 4 RBIs in this series. Takes ball one.
They changed the stance of Jed Lowry. He was hitting almost like Pete Rose used to, and they've got him standing straight up a little bit more. Consequently, it's allowed the left-handed stroke to do what he's done. 10 of his 12 home runs, 322 from the left side. Much better than as a right-hand hitter.
And the count 3-0.
You would think that Brad Mills would be giving him the green light as Robin looks on. Only because Martinez up next doesn't handle right-handed breaking ball as well.
And the count 3-1. There's a hook, and it wasn't a get me over either. That was a good one. Full count.
Phillip has a good curveball today. If he keeps it right there, going to be in good shape.
Just got a piece of it. And the payoff. He gone. 1-2-3 inning. Couple of strikeouts. After half inning of play, it's the Astros nothing, and our guys coming to bat.
Going to line up our Sox today. It's going to be Diaza, red hot, leading off, and Beckham, Dunn, Konerko, Rios, Viciato, and Ramirez, with Tyler Flowers and Orlando Hudson rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Lucas Harrell, Bixler, Maxwell, and Bogasevic, along with Johnson, Lowry, Altuve, and Wallace. Chris Snyder behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is the former Sox, Lucas Harrell, 5-4, ERA 4.70.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Diaza takes first pitch strike from Lucas, 27-year-old right-hander out of Springfield, Missouri. Harrell 6'2", 210. One thing about him, he will get it and throw it.
But they allow Chris Snyder to catch him each and every time out. The reason being Snyder is a veteran, and Lucas occasionally wants to invent a pitching style during the course of a game, and Snyder keeps him on the right track.
Just misses there. Well, that was one of the reasons I liked him. He was a little out of the box.
Oh, he's a real character.
Yeah, good guy. Nice young man.
And so far with the team 9 under, he's won over 500. So Harrell having a very good year in the rotation for these Astros.
Well, as you know, there are some pitchers who fare much better in the National League than they do in the American League.
Well, that is always going to be the case.
As long as there's a DH.
And as long as there's an American League East.
You know, the East doesn't scare me that much at all. They, a few years ago, was really, really awesome. And if you look at the records, it'll show you the East is the strongest division in baseball. But for some reason, we play that East very well. High pop up. Everybody watch out. Altuve stays with it.
Well, that's a ball. If Maxwell had played more center field for them, he would probably called and Altuve would have had it given away. Instead, he gets a little face full of hand for his efforts. Bang.
So here's Beckham. Gordon at 237, 8 homers, 25 knocked in. Takes first pitch strike. Gordon 4 for 10 with 3 RBIs in this series. All 3 of those RBIs coming yesterday.
Sharp breaking ball over the top by Harrell. If Snyder thinks that that sinker is working well, he'll stay with it most of the time.
Good pitch. Ate him up inside. And that is going to be a souvenir right side. So the count hangs 0-2. And right now, let's check out our Farmers Insurance picks to click this afternoon. Jaman Joe, our director and crew, went with Tyler Flowers. Steve's going with Giazza. And Tom Carter, Nick Palmer, Tony, Jeff, Keith, Nora, all great folks down at Knollwood Country Club in Granger, Indiana. We're going to go with Gordon Beckham. Here's Adam, hitting at 226, takes a strike. But he has 19 homers and 45 RBIs. That's a stout 226. And here's what he did yesterday with the Sox pack.
Reiner Cruz came into the game to get some work in the 8th. Instead, he gave up 4 on 6 hits. Not a good inning for Reiner.
No, not in 2/3 of an inning.
No.
Change up way out in front. And the Bertucci's are in the house. Everything's all right. Bobby, Bruno, Anthony, and Giggs. Can't leave Giggs out. As that is left side, nice catch. Two. Gave that one away. And a full count with Paulie on deck. I just love these throwback uniforms to 72. Wear them every home Sunday. Another one. Changeup got him, and the 1-2-3 inning for Lucas Harrell.
Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
No score, top of the second inning. It'll be Martinez, Wallace, and Johnson.
It's a good look if you wear a lot of yellow.
Martinez at 235, 5 homers and 32 knocked in. That is high and deep to left field. And it is 1-0 Houston.
First ball fastball. Martinez was able to bring his hands in and hit his 6th home run of the year. Anything up in the wind, anything to left or left center. And it's going out of here. Ford home run replay. You see that ball drift inside. Tyler Flowers wanted the pitch away. He didn't get it there. It's 1-0.
Well, that's been one of Phillips' problems, especially since the perfect game. He has to spot his fastball. As Wallace fouls that one into the seats. One and one to count. Wallace hitting at .381, a homer. He's driven in 3. 2 for 7 in this series with a homer.
Wallace a good line drive hitter. He's very strong. His only problem is finding a position on a daily basis. They've got him at first base. Played a little third at Arizona State.
Three and one to count. And there is, in essence, leadoff walk after a home run.
Chris Johnson actually was ill for a couple of days, feeling just awful. That's one of the reasons why he came out of the first game and was not in yesterday's game, but he's back in the lineup here today. And he's a pretty good hitter.
Takes ball one. 286, 5 homers, 27 knocked in. And that is in the mezzanine seats. One and one to count. Into right field. Alex is there. And that's out number 1. And if you're looking for a flexible ticket plan for the season, White Sox Pick 7 and Pick 14 plans let you select the games you want, including great matchups like the BP Crosstown Cup Series. And plans start at just $89. Call 312-674-1000 and visit whitesox.com. Bogasevic takes a strike. This is the 21st meeting between these two teams in interleague play, and the first 20 Sox have won 11 of them.
They've been one of the toughest teams on us in interleague play.
Well, we got the second best record in all of baseball in interleague play, only behind the Yankees. Wallace in the second.
See how that one is scored? It is a pass ball. Tyler wants it low and in. This gives you an idea about Philip Umber and the fact that he missed his spot that time by a good 5 feet. He just doesn't have any rhythm to this point. Doesn't mean he won't get it. Just means he doesn't have it yet.
And there's a strike. Yankees in interleague play at 160 up, 109 down. We are 158 up and 112 down. Ball hit hard, but we got a man there. Wallace is not going anywhere, so out number 2. So Gusevic hit it hard. So that'll bring up Justin Maxwell. Maxwell hitting at .222, 5 homers and 15 driven in. Sox will conclude this game. Have an off day tomorrow. And tomorrow evening, travel on out to St. Louis. 3-game set there, and then go to Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. And there's the pass ball. It's going to score a run, and it is 2-0. That will be an unearned run if you're scoring along with us so far.
Coming at number 16, and the first ball is right up in the eyes of Maxwell. It's a breaking ball that does nothing.
Well, that leadoff walk, in essence, it was a leadoff walk coming after a leadoff home run. Comes around to score. We just can't get over those things. So here's Snyder, catcher, hitting at 189, 3 homers and 14 knocked in. Maxwell has good speed, but he's only 1 for 3 in stolen bases.
Dave Clark going through his set of signs at third base.
I 1-2 the count. When Clark is fun to watch when there's a man on second. Then he has to change position, come closer to the plate.
He comes sprinting down the line to take a look into the dugout. Then he goes back, then gives signs to the man at second. Runs all over the place.
He gone, but they put a pair on the board after an inning and a half. 2-0 bad guys. game. That's quite a performance by an emerging star in baseball. And, of course, that is our 23-year-old southpaw, Chris Sale.
He's leading the league in ERA at 2.05. And yesterday, with excellent control, he went 8 innings. He just completely shut down an offense that had beaten us the first game. That's where he ranks in the American League in wins, in ERA, in opponent's batting average. He's either first or tied for first. And what a year. Conversion from a reliever to a starter, and hasn't set him back one iota.
Canerco, Rios, and Tank. First pitch strike to Paulie. Paulie hitting at 363, 11 homers, 33 knocked in. 1 for 7 in this series. And another strike. Good eye.
Career leaders, interleague home runs. Jim Thome, who hit one yesterday, has 60. Paulie has 55, tied with Ken Griffey Jr., who's not likely to hit any more. So I'm liking Paulie's chances overall to eventually lead everybody.
There's a little two-hopper. So 1 out. That'll bring up Alex. And our Sox and Cubs rivalry continues for the BP Crosstown Cup. Great seats are still available for the Sox Cubs here at US Cellular Field, June 18th, 19th, and 20th. So purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Harold came to the big leagues with our ball club in 2010. Originally a 4th-round draft pick in June 2004. So he was in the organization for a while.
That's into the upper tank and very quickly. Strike 1, strike 2. Nothing into the count.
So far, Harold's been very aggressive in coming right at our hitters.
Got him. Two down. 3rd strikeout.
All 3 strikeouts have been swinging, and you can see when that sinker is right, the bottom falls out of it, and so far it's been pretty good today.
That'll bring up Tank, hitting at 267, 12 homers and 29. Missed yesterday's game because of tightness and hamstrings. Jordan Danks filled in for him, and all he did was have a big day. One and one to count to Viciato. High into the right side. And a nice catch right there by Wallace. Wow. Beautiful play. Meanwhile, quick 1-2-3 inning. And we trail it 2-0. RBI single by Maxwell. It is 2-0 Houston. Top of the order, Altuve, Bixler, and Lowry.
Got to watch the first pitch with the little guy. He really likes to jump on it. He had that pitch called against him, called him out in the first inning, and so Mike Everett called it again.
Breaking ball, and very quickly it's 0-2.
They tried to get him to walk a little more this year, but doesn't work that well. 13 walks in 235 at bats.
You got a hanger right there, a little high.
If you're getting a face high fastball called, go back up there again.
That curveball hit into right field. Alex coming on. Yes.
Looks like the wind that's blowing out toward left and left center is batting the ball down in right field.
Knocks that one down.
Yep. And for the moment, Alex was fooled, but had the speed to come on and make the play. And he really had to hustle at the end of this one.
So here's Bixler. He went out to center. Takes a bunt, takes a strike. Good curveball. 0-2. Would not bite.
Now, good place for an 0-2 curveball, however. Close enough to look tantalizing, but not really hittable. Here's another one.
That one a little high. He gone. 4 strikeouts for Phillip and Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Well, they're coming to the United Center on October 11th. Tickets go on sale Monday, June 11th at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. All Ticketmaster outlets are charged by phone 800-745-3000. Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Lowry struck out his first trip. 3-2 fastball got him. And there's the strike. Count 0-2.
Good location on the first 2 fastballs to Jed Lowry.
He gone. Backdoor hook. 1-2-3 inning. 5 punch outs, but we trail it 2-0.
we ask you which two players in Astros history each won 5 Gold Gloves. It's a lot of defense. You think about it. We'll get back to you a little later in the game with the answer.
BB. As here is Alexei. 2-0 Astros, bottom of the third. Alexei, Flowers, and Hudson. Lower third of our order as Lucas has retired all 6 he's seen.
His fastball's moving pretty well today. And he's just bearing it inside to a lot of the right-hand hitters.
Well, you shaped him up nicely at the top. And you're 5-4 with this ball club. And this is his 13th start. You pitched well. Watch out.
He's got an opportunity, and that's the only thing you can ask. Get an opportunity. Move into the National League, especially in that ballpark in Houston where you can pitch to right and center field all the time.
And there's the base hit, so you can cancel a post-game show. And a good way to start the third. They'll bring up Tyler. Tyler 2-11, a couple of homers. Takes first pitch strike, and he has caught Lucas many times. Outfield straight up, about equidistant, maybe a slight itsy bitsy gap out there in left center. Lucas has a decent move over to first. And the count 0-2. Inside, a ball and 2 strikes. There he goes. And the ball gets away. So it'll be a stolen base. Alexei now 8 for 9 in that category.
Snyder went to backhand it. It would have been doubtful even had he come up with it. If he'd have thrown out Ramirez. It's a decent jump. But this is a tough ball to handle. And he's in scoring position.
2-2 pitch. All 4 base hit. Tyler. Hudson on deck. Made a good pitch as far as jamming him, but it would have been a ball.
Now they're able to stay alive after he expands his strike zone. Harold has thrown the ball 93, 94 miles an hour today. And there is a good at bat.
Something cooking here in the bottom of the third.
We trail by 2, but with the offense doing what they've been doing, you'd think their odds are pretty good. Since May 14th, you can see in the major league, they lead in batting average, runs per game, home runs, hitting with runners in scoring position, and on-base percentage. That's second. So when you look at those numbers and you see the 17-7 record, it's not all that surprising.
So here's Hudson. Hitting at 173, no homers. He's driven in 5. Corners in close, squares the bunt, and jabs at it, fouls it back.
Hudson does not have a sacrifice yet for our ball club. Johnson has got a good, strong arm in very shallow at third. If you're going to bunt it down there, you can't bunt it too hard.
Here they come. Pulls it back and takes ball 1.
Well, Everett got screened on that one because Snyder, who's a big man, came up early. That ball had the entire plate. And he got the benefit of the call.
That'll get the job done. So sacrifice 2-4. I used to love to watch Bagwell on that play. Man, he was fun to watch. Jeff Bagwell was as fun to watch play defensively as any first baseman in recent years.
I'm not sure how many guys had more range. There might have been some guys who had better hands. Maybe Keith Hernandez. Maybe Mark Grace.
Mattingly, yeah, but right there was Hernandez.
But with because he was a third baseman, with his range, and he did have a very good arm in those days before he hurt it, he was fun.
So here's Diazza. He popped up to Altuve at second. And there, look at this. Sweet of what? So now they're going to hold Tyler at third, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
Alejandro with 27 runs batted in. And if you're looking for a catalyst on this team, you're looking at him hit right there. Takes it right down the line. Johnson was off the line. He was in. And because Diazza has bunted that way, and because that's what the advanced scouting reports say, when you bring the third baseman in, there's just no room when you slap it by him.
And a good call by Joe McEwing right there. As Bixler got to that ball in a hurry, he was playing him well over there. So here's Beckham, struck out. His first trip. Takes it low. 2-2-0 for the Astros, 1-2-0 for our Sox. Gordon pulling off that pitch.
That was the top of the zone. Probably not what Harrell had in mind, because he's thinking about a double play. And this, if anything, yields a fly ball.
Well, that was Lucas's problem when he was with us. He just made an awful lot of bad pitches. Good eye, good take. 2-1.
Well, Diazza has to make sure that on a ground ball, he gets down a second to get a piece of the pivot man, because it's going to plate the tying run if he can break up 2.
This should be it. Bobbled! Everybody's safe and the game is tied at 2. Yes.
E5, as this Houston team has had all kinds of problems defensively. That's the 8th error for Johnson. And this is a tailor-made 2 and out of the inning. But that long hop got to Johnson, and just like that, it's a new game.
Don't stop now, boys. As here's Adam. He saw 3 changeups in his first at bat, and the last one got him. So that one, two-seamer, runs outside. Oh, yeah. 2-0. Change up. And grabs the strike. Harrell gets back even at 2-2. Good speed aboard. Diaz at second. Beckham at first. And that's popped up. Get out of here. Get out of here. Nope. 2 down. So they'll bring up Paulie. Paulie grounded out to short. Top of the third, and St. Louis Cardinals leading Cleveland 1-0. Detroit and Cincinnati play tonight at the Great American Ballpark. Outfield about equidistant, slightly to the left. And that's into right field. And that'll retire the side, but Sox tied up with a pair. We'll go to the fourth, 2-2.
Dos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell.
It's the top of the fourth inning. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Big error for them. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for us. As Martinez takes a curveball strike. He homered, leading off the second. On the corner, and here was that. If you missed it.
First ball fastball, inner portion, up in the jet stream, and gone.
He gone.
Those pitches he's not going to be able to handle. If Phillip can get the curveball over the plate at all, Martinez will be a non-factor.
Well, you know, Phillip, even when he's pitched well, just to the eye, just looking at his motion, there's a lot of labor in there. But it seems like when he pitches his best, there's less labor. Like that curveball right there. He stayed back nicely, just let it work for him.
Well, he wasn't trying to wipe him out there.
No.
He just wanted to get it over the plate.
But when he tries to wipe somebody, he powers through
Right.
it, and that's when he either throws it in the dirt or hangs it. As Wallace walked and scored in the second.
Well, that's the understanding of the curveball, knowing that it's strictly a rotation pitch and not a velocity pitch. Because when you try to throw it harder, you don't get the rotation and you don't get the quick break.
He gone.
7 strikeouts for Phillip Humber. And Wallace expands his zone. Great pitch when you're ahead of a hitter.
Well, when you talk about the rotation pitch being a rotation pitch, which it is, then you look at the great curveballs. Blyleven threw it hard.
Yeah.
I mean, hard enough where you could hear it. The seams grabbing the air. Sam McDowell the same way. Ed Farmer had a great curveball you could hear.
Nolan Ryan's curveball, Sandy Koufax, all of them got just tremendous spin.
Yeah, and the seams were bigger in those days, and that's one reason you could hear them easier. The 0-2.
I remember continuing to throw the ball back to the umpire. I told him that my hands were small. The baseball felt big. I was just looking for one with a little bigger seams if I needed to make a good curveball pitch.
Wow, that didn't take long. He strikes out the side. 8 punch outs for Phillip, and we're tied at 2. Mercy.
Players in Astro history, each won 5 Gold Gloves. And the answer? Doug Rader at third, Cesar Cedeno in center field.
The Rooster.
Boy, they talk about one of the true characters of the game. That guy was one of the true characters of the game.
He was something. He was a interim manager here, the White Sox, a couple days, and also third base coaches. There's a leadoff single by Rios. 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the fourth. Now Rooster, among the players themselves, was a legend.
He was indeed. Remember a pop fly over our dugout in the dome? Our players went up, took a look at it. You know, as you look at the ball going over the thing, and Rooster came by and slapped about 7 of them in the face. It looked like a Three Stooges movie. And then ran back to third base.
Well,
and they looked at him.
You see, I believe it.
No,
because that was Rooster.
That was unbelievable. Our guys were incredulous, as they say.
Here's Tank. Tank fouled out to Wallace, who had to go a long way, made a beautiful catch over the shoulder. Yeah, Doug or something. Pretty good with his hands, too.
I don't think he was a guy that you wanted to antagonize.
There he goes. There's a throw. It's high, and he's safe. 7th stolen base. And 10 attempts.
Robbins got the running game out today. The throw is high, and Rios is in easily. Ramirez stole a bag after his single in the 3rd inning, turned into a 2-run inning. Let's hope for more of the same here. So now we've got 44 stolen bases, been thrown out just 16 times, and the Astros have had all kinds of problems throwing out base runners.
So Tank's got a job to do, and the 1-1 pitch.
Here's our AT&T UVerse Multiview, giving you multiple angles as well as a center field camera.
That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Viciado. Made a good pitch on it. So 4 strikeouts now for Lucas. Big strikeout there. And that'll bring up Alexi, who started off that 2-run 3rd with a single. And he picked up his 8th stolen base and scored. Oops.
It was an interesting swing.
Altuve hanging out around second. That's foul. Count 0-2. And you can stop by Bacardi at the Park at US Cellular Field at the Gate 5 Plaza. Bacardi at the Park offers a full menu from Gibson's Restaurant Group and opens at 11 a.m. before all home games. It's a great place to hang out and watch the action on over 70 HD TVs. Bacardi at the Park. The 0-2 pitch. Yeah, getting back to you wanting to change the baseball to get a bigger seam. Back in those days, it wasn't as easy to change balls as it is today.
No, some umpires actually took exception to that.
Oh, they hated it. They did not like it at all, most of them. That ball gets away, so now he's into third.
Snyder not having the best of days behind the plate. It is a wild pitch. Probably one that Snyder, if he just shifts his body at all, is going to be able to block. Now it forces the infield in. And now Brad Mills is telling him it's early enough in the game to play back.
Lowry in a little bit. Now he's going to come in with the pitch. That'll get the job done. Good at bat right there for Alexei, as Alex will tag. He will score, and we take a 3-2 lead.
So the running game and some very opportunistic offense to put our ball club in the lead. RBI number 27, good at bat by Ramirez. Got the fly ball when he needed it.
So here's Tyler. He had a good at bat last inning. Fell behind the count, then drew a walk and came around to score. That's in the hole. Backhanded slant, peg, and that'll do it, but not before the leadoff single to stolen base. And the sacrifice fly, we lead it 3-2. And a reminder, Sox fans, Sunday, June 24th, is 70s Day here at US Cellular Field. Now, the first 10,000 children, 13 and under, in the ballpark on the 24th will receive a kid's 1972 replica jersey, courtesy of Pepsi. It's the same kind of jersey as they're wearing today, a beautiful red and white one. That's Sunday, June 24th, first 10,000 children, 13 and under will get one of those. Bob Grimm and I were talking this morning. The giveaways this year, I think, are the best we have ever seen. Terrific.
They are that. And very well made.
Big hack. Bogusevic lined out hard to Alex his first trip. Turns that one over. Good curveball. Mike Everett, home plate umpire, staying right with that hook. Some umpires will, if he starts off high or out of the zone or try to backdoor somebody, they'll quit on it. You know that better than anybody with it being a breaking ball pitcher. Boy, there's one just almost dehorned him.
Bogusevic has shown himself to be a pretty good hitter. I know that batting average doesn't look like much, but he's had some very good at bats in this series. And
that home run he hit in the opening game.
Oh, that was a bomb.
A bomb.
Philip fortunately was able to duck under that one.
So here's Maxwell. He had an RBI single. There he goes. And here he comes back.
He has 6 stolen bases this year, been thrown out 3 times. So decent enough speed for the Chicago area native.
Long set. There he goes again, and another foul ball. So 0-2 the count. There are some hitters that, out of their peripheral vision,
they don't like a guy running.
No, if they see he gets a good jump, they won't swing. Oh yeah, and that too. But yeah, especially what you don't like a guy running, especially at second base. Broke it down like he might be off again.
I think it's important for a curveball pitcher to communicate with his catcher and have the catcher talk to the umpire about not giving up on anything, because this guy's breaking ball is a big one today. It's breaking sharply, so just stay with it. It'll look like, just remind him so you're not going to surprise him with anything.
Checks it up. He did not go.
Usually if you tell him before the fact, I mean, you're not telling him after a pitch, but you're telling him before the inning or before the game, so that you're not showing him up. Nobody knows the conversation you've had. They'll be more apt to give you a couple of those pitches that are late breakers.
Carlton Fisk was really good at that. If he had been catching you before every game that you pitched, he would be talking to the umpire before the game started. When he went out there to warm you up, he'd be saying, hey, you're going to be throwing a lot of curveballs with the guy.
It helps. It helps you get, if it helps you get 2 pitches in a game, could prove to be winning pitches.
One, two. Nice block by Tyler. Still got to get the hitter, though.
Mark Parent going through his set of signs to Tyler Flowers on what he wants to use, and usually it'll be a slide step if he thinks Bogusevic is going to be running.
Had him 0-2. It is now 3-2.
Well, now most likely you're going to have a chance to strike him out and throw him out if you can strike out Maxwell.
There he goes. did not get a good jump. So if he had struck him out right there, it would have been a strike him out, throw him out. But on 3-2 in that situation, you're not supposed to get picked off. So you can't get your normal good lead and good jump or your normal good jump.
Yeah, the manager is not going to get on you for not taking off early because you're not trying to steal the base, essentially.
There he goes. A little better jump right there.
In the high 80s at game time, Bogusevic is going to need a little oxygen at first base. He's been on the move a lot, and every time he's run, Maxwell has fouled it off. It's dropped down to 86. Fortunately, it's not overly humid today.
And there he goes again. And that ball is get foul. Get foul. It won't.
Well, that was a rocket.
And it is 4-3 Houston.
It's about as hard as we've seen a ball hit in this homestand. And this is the 9th game of the homestand. 6th home run. Maxwell has driven in 3 of the runs. Our 4th home run replay, and that's a fastball that he tried to throw up and in. Maxwell just obliterated it.
So the leadoff single by Bogusevic. And then the long home run, and here is Snyder, who struck out. So Phillip, who had struck out 5 in a row before the single, and now Robin
is talking with Mike Everett.
Yeah, they're going to have a review.
I don't blame him. Take a shot. That ball was hit so high. You'd love to see it overturned.
They will have a review. So we're still.
We have a shot from the high home camera.
Yeah.
Take another look. And the problem is that it is so high, you can't really tell. You know where it lands, but that doesn't matter all that much.
Well,
so
you never know unless you ask.
Isn't the rule at home is if you really can't tell, you call it foul?
Certainly. Yes. Always has been. That's the way to go about it today, is if there's any question, because of the height being difficult to call it, is to go out there to the umpire and say, hey, my video guys just came back and said that ball was foul.
Yeah.
It's the best way to approach it.
And then when they ask you to show us,
and then the umpire,
we lost the video. I don't know what happened.
The umpire watches the manager's nose grow.
Gee, yeah. Was that 18 minutes of video that we lost? No idea what happened to it. Our crew has a bit of a different look.
And we'll see when they come out.
Okay, let's take a look at it. And we'll freeze the screen for you, and you can see where the baseball is. And it's on the red sign between the two yellow posts. And when the ball disappears behind the post, obscured by the post, that means it went in front of the post and would then be a home run. But they're taking their time, so you never know. And it is a home run because it was. That's just kind of the deal.
Well, at least they gave it a shot. So it's a 4-2. We'll check that 4-3. Houston lead.
It's now 11 home runs given up by Philip Humber.
And here's Snyder. He struck out his first trip. Takes the curveball strike. And the count 0-2. I would say with Philip, he's just going to have to start locating that fastball better.
Well, he located that one 461 feet away.
He gone.
That is a long home run. Hit by Maxwell. Second time that Snyder has been called out on strikes. That was a good moving fastball.
Altuve struck out and then popped the pitch up to right field, short right. Alex had to come a long way and get there in a hurry, and he did. Four, 4-1 for them. 3-3-0 for us. That curveball, pretty good pitch to hit, pops it up. 2 down.
Astros came into this game as a team with just 49 home runs in 59 games. But it's been the long ball this afternoon that has propelled them to the lead.
They hit 3 in the first game. 1 yesterday. Cleveland has tied up St. Louis at 1. Game in the top of the 5th in St. Louis. Bixler with a 1-1 count. He was going to take one for the club right there.
He tried to lean into that without making it look too obvious. We saw that in the College World Series last night. They called the player back who leaned into a breaking ball with the bases loaded. And the umpire called him back and said nope. Then he took a 3-2 hook. And they got out of the inning.
So the 2-out walk. And that'll bring up Lowry, who was 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. One swinging and one called. Swinging on a fastball, called on a backdoor curve. Pretty good lead.
Bickler's got some speed, but he's only been up for 8 games. He's only had 14 at bats, so he has no stolen base attempts to this point.
There he goes.
His last stolen base, July 4th of last year. So he's been saving it up. That's why he got down there so easily.
And that ball hit deep into right center field. But Piazza right in front of Bacardi at the park will haul it in. They take the lead. We're halfway home, trailing by 1. Taken for a strike. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for their guys. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors for our guys. One and 1 to count. Well, because there are not many real good breaking ball hitters in baseball. The fastball is the best pitch in the game. Let me restate that. A well-located fastball is got him. He knew it. 1 out. is a well-located fastball, and one of the worst pitches in the game is a mistake with a fastball because there's so many good fastball hitters.
Well, where Phillip has gotten hurt on the fastball has been when he's trying to throw it inside, doesn't get it inside far enough. Because there's very little margin for error in there if you do miss and you don't have a big fastball, and Phillips doesn't fall into that big fastball category.
Well, a lot of guys cannot pitch inside, and a lot of guys who could don't know how to pitch inside.
I think the object of going in is going in 3-4 inches off the plate inside when you're ahead of the hitter. Certainly not behind the hitter. You want to force him to swing at it, but you want to force him to swing at a pitch off the plate.
Diaza. Maxwell. Stretch. A nice catch right there as he bangs into the fence.
Maxwell stays with it. The wind is trying to take it away from him, but he takes a 2-base, possibly 3-base hit away from Diaza.
Here's Beckham. Gordon 0 for 2 with an RBI. He now has 26 ribbies. Breaking ball and the count 0-2. Harrell barehands it. And that's a quick 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the 6th, trailing 4-3. Houston. It'll be Martinez, Wallace, and Johnson. Breaking ball hit to Alexei like on a pool table. 1 out. And a reminder, you can join our White Sox on June 23rd at 8. Check that, 6:15 as they take on the Brewers. First 20,000 fans receive a White Sox magnetic photo frame presented by U.S. Cellular. Stick around after the game for post-game fireworks as well. Purchase your tickets by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. Wallace has walked and struck out. He also, with that walk, scored. And that ball hit hard into right center field and out of here. So it's a 5-3 Houston lead.
Second home run of the year. Second home run of the series. Fourth driven in. Third home run hit today off Phillip. Fourth home run replay. Another fastball. Not well located. And gone. Doesn't win his batting the ball down, but that was a line drive.
Johnson. Is 0 for 2. Fly out to right and a strikeout. Five and 1 for them. 5 runs on 5 hits. Of the 5 hits, 2 of them stayed in the park. And there's a base hit.
Bullpen up and going with the day off tomorrow. Nate Jones throwing in the pen.
So here is Bogusevic.
Don Cooper wants to find out how far Jones is away from getting loose.
And here's Robin.
Robin is taking a real slow walk to the mound to let Nate throw maybe 7 or 8 more pitches out there. And then he'll spend some time on the mound, undoubtedly.
Mike Everett, home plate umpire and crew chief. Going to try to expedite matters. And he does, as Robin makes that call to the pen. So Phillip Humber will depart. Nate Jones comes on, and we'll be back.
Nate Jones. Jones had a very good year. 3-0, 1.52 ERA, 30 strikeouts in 29 2/3 innings with 10 walks. Left-handers doing nothing with him. The right-handers actually have had some pretty good luck with him. One of the reasons why he's bringing him in to face Bogusevic.
In that Cleveland St. Louis game tied at 1, Beltran has hit another home run. He now has 18.
Pretty nice resurgent year.
He had one yesterday.
Yep.
Against the Indians. So here we go. 1 out, 1 on. Bogusevic is 1 for 2. Hit the ball hard twice. Line drive right to Rios in the second, and that leadoff single is shot right back to the middle last inning. That 95-mile-an-hour popped up in the left field.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it came off the bat of Justin Maxwell. 461 feet. Crushed down the line. The longest we've seen get down that line. And he's got 3 driven in today.
Yes, he does. That RBI single in the second. That fastball in 97. That one at 97, and the count 2-0. Come on, Nate. No walks, buddy. Fail pitch. There's one. So that is the third walk issued to Houston hitters today. And that'll bring up the catcher. This Snyder is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Certainly didn't want to give in to Maxwell there.
Not the way he's swinging the bat.
No.
Snyder hasn't swung it well, but he won't be looking at the same kind of curveball from Jones that he was looking at from Umber.
Right up over Steve's head. Count evens at 1. 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for them. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors for us. Former Sox right-hander Lucas Harrell pitched well. One of those runs is unearned. That ball hit hard into left field. So that's going to score another one. Now they're going to wave. Good throw is going to get in. No, it's off the mark. 2 more across the plate. And it's 7-3.
Snyder can hit a fastball. He has problems with the breaking ball, but that one out away. Cito gets to it quickly enough. But the relay throw back in with the speedy Maxwell doesn't have much of a shot to get him. He can really run.
It would have taken one right on the money. So here's Altuve. Takes first pitch strike at 98. That breaking ball hangs high and in. There's that wicked hard slider.
Not much of a chance here for Altuve. He's not going to take many, so you don't have to throw him a strike.
Everett started to come up with it.
A Nissan pitch tracks just off the corner.
And the 2-2. There was a hanger. Thank goodness he was a little quick. And a full count. Two-run double by Chris Snyder. And there's a base hit. Come on, Tank. No, you just get it back in. And it is 8-3.
th run batted in for Altuve. And today, for whatever reason, we have brought out the best in this Houston team. That was a good slider low and away. And Altuve just reached down and dumped it into left field.
So here's Bixler. Bixler has gone out to center, struck out, and walked. And that is right field. Alex giving chase, and that's going to be a souvenir. In and out. Four runs across here in the top of the sixth inning. Opened it up. 8-3. Breaking ball strike. 1-2.
Wind continues to howl here, and still a long way to go for us against their pitching staff, which has been vulnerable at times.
12 big outs. Another ball. You got to stay with it because that wind is swirling, and that's going to be in the second row.
Oh, give it, that's it. Give it to the young man. Way to go.
It's amazing what a baseball will do for a youngster.
Indeed, one of life's great thrills. Come to the ballpark, You can buy all the souvenirs you want, which is great. They look good, but one baseball.
And there's a shot. Altuve will make the turn, going to third. So the beat goes on.
Don Cooper now coming out. He wants a word with Nate Jones, who for one of the few times this year hasn't brought his good stuff with him out of the bullpen.
And while they're out there on Monday, June 18th, when our Sox take on the Cubs at 7:10, Miller Lite will give one lucky fan the chance to pitch for $1 million. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. That's Monday, June 18th, Sox and Cubs. And one of you will have a chance to make a throw for $1 million. So 2 out runners at the corners as the 9th man to come to bat here. Jed Lowry 0 for 3. There he goes. Going to go through.
Well, we're going to have to work on that because that's twice in the same series. We've had situations where, in this case, a double steal. In the other case, Maxwell scored from third on a rundown. Might not be devastating in this game, but it will be down the road. And you work on this in Little League all the time. Runner stops. Good timing. And that's the key. Altuve scoring easily. Double steal.
1-1 the count. Boy, we have been playing such good fundamental baseball in the last couple of days, or in this series, I should say. Not so good. Not so good. 9-3. Makes the change up in to grab a strike. 2-1. You can bet it will be worked on.
It has to be that, and they do a lot of that before the games.
2 out. And a full count.
Lowry came over from Boston, along with Kyle Wheeland, for Mark Melancon. And Melancon probably gave up 6 or 7 home runs. Sent him down to the minor league, so a good deal for Houston.
Got him. But a lot of damage is done as they put a 5 spot on the board, and they lead at 9-3. as Adam Dunn will lead it off. Adam 0 for 2, a strikeout and a foul out for third. They got the shift on, the dramatic shift. With Johnson out there in right field.
Right around 44 minutes for a half inning, so perhaps Lucas Harrell has forgotten that he was throwing a lot of strikes while he was out there previously.
That ball hit hard, deep. They just look up. You can put it on the board. Yes! A line shot out of here for Biggin. That is number 20. And it's a 9-4 ball game. .46 driven in. And wind or no wind, it's a line drive rocket. Tied with Dwight Evans for 58th in our Ford home run replay. Just a little bit above the belt fastball, out away and gone. So here's Paulie. Paulie 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and lined out to right. And there's a base hit. Let's get that contagion going.
Let's get to Harrell before Brad Mills goes to that bullpen. That fastball running in. Paulie able to take it down the line.
Well, if they can get 5 in the top half, we can get 5 in the bottom half.
Nobody up in the pen, so Mills has have a word with Harrell, who was throwing so well before a very, very long top of the 6th.
And a reminder, you can join our White Sox mobile group today by texting ULTIMATE to 244-769. Mobile users get exclusive offers, deals, and contest info, and joining enters you in the drawing for our Ultimate Fan Package, where a lucky winner will receive 2 VIP game tickets, an autographed item, and Comiskey cash. Remember, text ULTIMATE to 244-769. So here's Alex Rios, is 1 for 2, a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. Breaking ball strike. Outfield for the most part straight up. And that ball gets away.
Take another look at it. Going to go as a wild pitch, but once again, you keep backhanding the ball that's 3 inches to your right. You see a lot of wild pitches called.
And that breaking ball catches the outside corner.
Nissan's pitch tracks. We'll show you that just the outside of the outside corner.
There's a shot that's going to hang up for Bixler. That's a hang woof'em for Alex. That'll bring up Tank. He is 0 for 2. He's due.
Lopez loosening up in the bullpen. We saw him for an inning and a third in the opening game, backing up Wandy Rodriguez in a game that they won. And Zach Stewart throwing in the bullpen.
Pick him up. Tank. Two and 0 the count. Three and 0. Alexei on deck.
Snyder's just killing some time so Lopez can loosen up. Because after that long delay, the decent stuff that Harrell had, he doesn't have anymore.
Turns him loose, and that is out number 2. So here's Alexei. Alexei looks at that pitch. Down low. Kansas City, top of the 8th inning. At Pittsburgh, Royals trail that game 3-2. Pittsburgh coming in 31 and 27.
They got a couple of very good young ball players.
Yeah, that kid in center field, McCutcheon's pretty good.
And their closer.
Yeah,
is good.
And Alvarez starting to swing the bat.
Yep.
That ball gets away. They get a shot at him. And they're going to get him. So we had a chance that inning to do some damage. We do pick up one on the homer by Dunn, but we trail at 9-4.
Is made by Houston. First it's Wallace, then it's Maxwell, then it's Lucas Harrell himself on a bare hand throw, and then it's the final out of the 6th inning. Ball gets away, Snyder gets to it, and Paulie runs into the tag. And we've got a new pitcher, Zach Stewart, coming into the game. ERA a little over 5, 21 in the 3rd innings, 31 hits. Right-hander is hitting a robust .377 against him.
We still got 9 big outs. If we can hold them, that's the key. Hold them right there and let our guys do some work. For the Astros here in the top of the 7th, it'll be Martinez, Wallace, and Johnson.
The Marlins have lost their 6th game in a row as Tampa Bay went down there in an interstate matchup and swept them in Miami. Joe Madden has his team back once again, residing in first place.
That's amazing. It really is. That ball hit high and into center field. The 1 pitch went out. Martinez now 1 for 4. That homer leading off the 2nd inning, his 6th of the season. That's amazing. That ball club being in first place without Longoria all this time.
Not kidding.
Amazing they got to the playoffs last year. That, again, it's an attitude. Attitude can overcome a lot of things. They think they can win.
I think they can win, and they got the starting pitching to make it hold up.
Well, starting pitching, all they do today is protect your bullpen. And they got some guys that are good defenders of that bullpen. Wallace is 1 for 2. A homer, a strikeout, a walk, a couple runs scored. That ball into left field. Tank is there. 2 down.
It's Will Ullman throwing in the pen.
So here's Chris Johnson. Chris is 1 for 3, a single and a run scored at coming last inning. Chops that one down past Dave Clark. Coach at third, Bobby Meacham. The coach at first. He gone. Nice 1-2-3 inning for Zach. 7th inning stretch, not good. First pitch to Alexei Ramirez, leading off here in the bottom of the 7th. 9-4 Astros. 5 big runs in the 6th. Alexei is 1 for 1, sacrifice fly, and that's going to hang up for Bixler. So that's a hard hit line drive, 1 out. That'll bring up Tyler, who has walked and scored and grounded to short. Off day tomorrow. Then it's off to St. Louis and Los Angeles. 3 with the Cardinals, 3 with the Dodgers.
Well, we're big Cardinal fans today as they're locked in a 1-1 tie with the Indians. That game at the top of the 7th.
Well, Quintana's starting on Tuesday against Adam Wainwright. And on Wednesday, Jake Peavy against Lance Lynn, coming out of nowhere to be 9-2.
He's had just an unbelievable year.
There's the strike. And then Gavin Floyd against Jake Westbrook.
Cardinals just got some more bad news. Jaime Garcia, their talented left-hander, lost for up to 6 weeks, maybe longer. He had a couple of great years.
Yeah. Yeah. Full count. Start us off right here, Tyler, with 1 out. Hudson on deck. Nice snap right there by Lucas. 2 down.
Here's what it looks like head to head Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're getting 3 of their best. And hopefully interleague play on the road will be kind to our ball club this year.
Hudson, sacrifice bunt and a strikeout. Chopper to Hopper. That didn't take long. We're into the 8th. Lead it off here in the top of the 8th inning. 9-9-1 for them. 4-5-0 for us. Bogusevic 1 for 3 with a run scored. There's the strike. Brian out of Oak Lawn. Now resides in Houston. Two and two. Ball hit hard. Nice pick by Paulie. Picky Wilson. 1 out.
Hard hit ball with a lot of spin. The ball was able to make the play. That ball looked ticketed into right field.
And you can follow our White Sox with the MLB.com @Bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @Bat to 31826 or visit WhiteSox.com for details. Two now. Maxwell's retired.
He's been a hard man to retire. First time today.
Here's what Maxwell did back in the 5th. Watch where that lands. That's deep.
Yep, a mammoth shot.
That was deep. And here's Snyder. He had a big hit. 2 out. 2-run double. And the 6th. He did not go. And the count 1-1. That Cleveland St. Louis game now in the bottom of the 7th. Tied at 1.
Ubaldo Jimenez pitching for the Tribe. Limited St. Louis to 4 hits to this point. So Ubaldo looks like he's got his mechanics straightened out.
I watched a few innings of that game he pitched against the Tigers. He had good stuff.
They won 19 in Colorado one year, and everything seemed to fit together, and all of a sudden things just fell apart. He's got a lot of moving parts in that big frame.
Full count. Cubs beating Minnesota 6-0. That game in the bottom of the 8th at Target Field. Pittsburgh leading Kansas City 3-2, top of the 9th at PNC. And the payoff. So the 2-out walk to Snyder goes back to the top of the order now with Jose Altuve. Altuve, an RBI single and a run scored in the 6th. That ball hit hard. And it is the 11-4. A 2-out walk to the 9th place hitter.
And a first ball fastball to Altuve, who's shown us in this series that he goes up there looking for first ball fastball anywhere and just attacks it. His 4th home run. 22 driven in, 3 today. Our Ford home run replay. Up in the jet stream and gone.
Here's Bixler. It's just been a bad game. Change up. And the count 0-2. $11, 10, and 1 for them. 4, 5, and 0 for us. Close. Didn't get it.
When you're 5-5, occasionally your teammates would never take advantage of you, like giving you the high five that you can't reach. So he has to leap up and get it.
He gone, but 2 more across the plate, and we trail by 7. Bottom of the 8th inning, and unless we can do something really good in the next 6 outs, we're going to have a disappointing, very disappointing homestand.
It's going to be a 4-5 homestand against some teams that we probably should have been able to handle, but it has not been a great year at home overall. Been a very good year so far, but if we drop this one, we'll drop to 16 and 18 here at U.S. Cellular Field.
1-1 to count. Alejandro is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Two and 1.
About to deliver pitch number 106.
Three and 1. We need a lot of base runners. That's into left field. Bixler. One out, and that'll bring up Beckham. Gordon 0 for 3, but he does have an RBI. Takes first pitch strike. And the count 0-2. Dunn on deck. That ball hit hard into right field. Stretch, get over his head. It will. Short hops the fence. So Gordon into second with his 9th two-bagger.
Now the bullpen continues to work, and you wonder on a very warm and humid day what Brad Mills wants out of Lucas Harrell, who's done a nice job today. And I don't think you can wonder any longer because he's coming out. He points to the pen. But that will be it for the former White Sox, Lucas Harrell, who did a nice job today. And we'll be back. And it is Wesley Wright on for the 32nd time, an 0-1 record, 3.78 ERA. We also saw Wright for a third of an inning in the Friday night game. He gave up a base hit. He is a left-handed specialist, and that's why he's being brought in to face Adam Dunn.
So here's Adam. 1 for 3 today. One out, one on. First pitch. And here's what he did leading off the 6th.
Lucas Harrell got one up. Adam hit a line drive. 20 and 46 on the power numbers.
And of course, with that home run by Adam, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. There's number 74, so $7,400 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula. The 0-2. Right, 27 years old, out of Montgomery, Alabama. Eleven runs, 10 hits, 1 error for them. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for us. 2 down. And here comes the skipper, Brad Mills. Wright does his thing. And if you've been with us the whole way, you saw us for the second time in this series botch up. Man on first and third, double steal situation. And in spring training, that was one thing they worked on very hard all spring. And as we talked about at the time, I think we'll probably be working on it some more. But anyway, Lopez comes on and we'll be back. Back in the second, 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. And we're in bad shape.
Our Honda call to the pen is Wilton Lopez. 3-0 this year, fine 2.25 ERA. Last year for a full season, his ERA was in the 270s, so this is not an illusion. He's been pretty good.
2-0. Rios on deck. The high and deep. Bixler looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. A bomb by Konerko. And it's 11-6 ball game. Mercy.
12th home run. He's now driven in 35 as our Ford home run replay. This a no-doubter. Way back over the bullpen. And a 5-run deficit.
Anything can happen. Alex is 1 for 3. A single, a stolen base, a run scored, and last time up just hit a rocket right to Bixler and left. There's a chopper 2-hopper deep in the hole. And that'll retire the side, but not before Paulie cranks out number 12, and we'll go to the 9th.
ERA 5.66, and Will is on for the 26th time. 5-run deficit. He'd like to hold it right there. Turn it over to the offense, see what they can do.
Jed Lowry, switch hitting shortstop, will lead things off. He's 0 for 4 today. He's got the hat trick. Plus, he's going out deep to center.
Pretty good hitter and the only man in the lineup without a hit.
That ball into center field deep. Piazza back on the track. So 1 out. And here's Martinez, who's 1 for 4 with a homer. Stros have hit 4 of them today. We have 2. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Oh, and 2 the count.
It's the first time I've seen that in a while. The ball hit in front of the plate, off the catcher, and over the screen.
One-two pitch. He gone. 2 down.
High breaky. We got him.
13 strikeouts for our pitching today, but we trail it by 5 runs. So here's Wallace. He's 1 for 3 with a homer. Inside 1-0. Off day tomorrow, then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from St. Louis. Tuesday game. It'll be Quintana against Wainwright, and that game will be over WCIU. Wednesday and Thursday, right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. Chopper, and that's fair ball. So the 2-out double.
That ball looked like it hit off a trampoline. Hit it right in front of the plate. Bounces straight up in the air.
Here's Chris Johnson, third baseman, who's 1 for 4, a single, and a run scored. Count evens. 1-1 to Johnson. Just joining us. Astros 2 in the second. We scored 2 in the third. We added 1 in the fourth. We led it 3-2. Then they scored 2 in the fifth to take a 4-3 lead. We broke it open with 5 in the sixth and 2 in the eighth. 11-6 Houston. Guard dugout. Gotta hurry. He does. And that'll do it. Nothing across. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Viciedo, Ramirez, Flowers. The schedule hit.
Light, and here's our Miller moments. And it's a home run. It's first off of Adam Martinez. Then Maxwell, a Titanic shot. And Wallace. And the diminutive Jose Altuve. 4 of them. Those are our Miller moments, and that's the difference in the game as Fernando Rodriguez comes in at 1-6, ERA 3.63. He's on for the 26th time.
Well, we got a lot of work to do and not much time to do it in. Trailing 11-6, 11-11-1 for them. 6-7-0 for us. So here's Tank. Tank's 0 for 3. And count 2-0. Bottom of the 8th in St. Louis, still tied at 1 with Cleveland. There's one. Don't help him out. And there's a dreaded leadoff walk. Well, they scored 5 in the 6th. Looking for score 6 in the 9th. And that's high. Snyder wants to go out and have a little confab.
Bullpen up and going, so Rodriguez, who doesn't have a real good record, I don't think he's going to be out there too long if he can't get the ball over.
Won't help him out. Juno. On the top of the zone.
Nissan pitch tracks on part of the plate.
3-1. Flowers on deck. It's full. Thought 4-base hit right here, Lexi. And that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks.
Doug Brocail coming out to have a talk with him. Even in a 5-run game. A day as lively as this one at the ballpark, things can get away from you in a hurry.
So here's Tyler. Tyler's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Breaking ball. Drops the hook on him. 0-1 the count. And Cleveland, St. Louis game now into the 9th, still tied. Detroit playing Cincinnati tonight. Up high, 1-1. Well, regardless of what happens here, and regardless of what happens in St. Louis, he's going to go on this road trip in first place. after a bad homestand.
Nissan pitch tracks, and Rodriguez gets a break.
Good take, good eye, 2-2. That's popped up, trying to come back, but it won't. Into the first row. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 9th, trying to get something going.
Not only the youngsters are happy with the souvenir.
And it goes full. One out.
He got him. Just reached back, got a little something extra, and threw a fastball by Tyler.
Here's Hudson. He is 0 for 2. Rodriguez gets the first pitch strike on him. Hudson has a sacrifice bunt, a strikeout, and a ground out to second. Count evens. That pitch up. That ball hit high and deep. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. 3-run shot off the bat of Hudson. And who knows? It's 11-9. Mercy.
First home run as a member of the White Sox, and it was not a cheapie, as Orlando Hudson goes way back. And it's a 2-run game. And that's going to be it for Rodriguez, who will hang his last breaking ball today. And our Ford home run replay, a shot.
Well, when you walk 2 guys in a situation like this, you deserve to have something bad happen. And it sure happened to him, so he departs. Brett Myers comes on in. We'll be back.
He's 0-2, ERA 2.14 on the 24th time. He's got 14 saves, and the Houston bullpen has pitched themselves into a save situation for Myers. Didn't look like it was going to work out that way, but we've scored 5 times in the 8th and now the 9th, and it's a 2-run game.
And here's Diaza. Corners in close. There's that good overhand yellowhammer that he's got. Snapdragon. 0-1 to count. Checks it up to even the count at 1. Beckham on deck and Adam Dunn in the hole. So let's get 1 or 2 guys on here. Curveball again. He's got a Jim Dandy.
Wasn't quite as effective as a starting pitcher, because he had to throw it a whole lot, but as a closer, it's very effective.
That fastball popped up into right field. And that's out number 2. So it's up to Gordon to get on. Takes first pitch strike. Oh, and 2. We're down to our last bullet.
Sharp breaking ball. But the corner.
Come on, Gordon. Cinch it up and hunker down right here, buddy. That ball hit hard into right field. And this ball game is over. So the Sox try, coming up with 3 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. But Steve, a very disappointing homestand.
It really was. It was 4-5 against some teams that we probably should have handled. We're 2 under 500 here, but going on the road where we've played very good baseball, we're still going to have the lead over Cleveland one way or the other. Have to root for St. Louis at least for the time being before the off day tomorrow, which I think everybody's going to appreciate. Then it's on to 2 National League cities, and we'll see if we can do it without the DH.
All right, let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is the center fielder, Justin Maxwell. A bomb, a tremendous home run, 461 feet. They measured out our GMC player of the game. So for my partner, Steve Stone, our director, Jim Angio, our producer, Mike Leary, our associate producer, Dave Ross, our technical manager, Mark Harper, the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr., also for the mayor, Mean Joe Booth, and up here in the booth, Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, Jeff Hilbert, Doug Bullard from Sound. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, now part of the NBC Sports Group.